Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Sean here, the iBiz Dad. Hello from Ireland. This video is serving two purposes. Number one, it will go through the steps that, I probably took to create my first online course with Zenler. That's why it's called How to Create an Online Course with Zenler. And also it is the first video that I will be trying to optimize with TubeBuddy as part of my TubeBuddy series. So, a double whammy here. If you haven't created an online course and you are interested in doing so, this video hopefully will be of interest to you. And if you're interested in seeing how TubeBuddy works, double whammy again, you will get the benefit of both. The steps in recording an online course, there is no way I suppose I'll get them all. There is no way that I'll remember everything I did, and there are bound to be steps I leave out. So I'm hoping in the comments, if I do leave out steps that are very important, people will fill in the gaps for me. Let's take a look at first of all, the starting steps, how you would begin. Well, the first thing is to decide on your course. Now, the way I decided on my course is I decided to do courses. I have a few coming up on what I did for a living for many, many years. Because this whole journey, the iBiz Dad, is about a man in his 50s creating an online business, and can you be successful? So if that is you, 50s, male or female, it doesn't matter, and you feel you've wanted to do something online for a long time, then please subscribe, because that's what this channel is all about. So in my early 50s, I decided, I want to do an online course, because I had been in the entertainment business for over 20 years and in the driving instruction business for over 20 years. And I figured I had some information that people might be interested in obtaining. So my first course was around the driving instruction business and how to pass your driving test. So it was an easy choice for me, and I just picked that as the first one. I did a lot of research. As a matter of fact, the research surprised me. There was more work in it than I had thought, because I just said, I've been doing this for 20 years. This will be very, very easy. But when you start to delve into it and realize that your online course has to be pretty much spot on in every way, then it takes longer than you expected. Planning the course in advance, I couldn't emphasize how important and vital this is. Because if you plan it well and research it well, actually the next step then, recording the content, whether it be videos, PDFs, whatever you're going to do, is much easier. And I made this mistake. There were quite a few of the modules that I didn't prepare as well as I should, and sure, in the end, it took me twice as long. So the prep beforehand is far more important than pretty much anything else, because recording the videos then is way, way easier. You have the content, and okay, you might have to go back and re-record and edit, but that's an easy process. And for me, it was a learning process as well, because I had never edited video before. I used LumaFusion, by the way, just in case you're looking for little tips, because I was editing on my iPad at the time. Now I have moved to the ScreenFlow is what I'm using at the moment now to edit, because I've moved to my iMac and my MacBook, my new MacBook M1 for editing. So like I say, I started off in LumaFusion. I found it brilliant, by the way. So if you're thinking about exploring LumaFusion, I would. It's really, really good. So record your videos and your content. That's your next step. The next step then is to keep it as simple as possible. And that's vital. Keep it very, very simple, especially on your first course, I think. I did go a bit OTT. Sure, we're all guilty of doing things like that. But if you keep it simple, and I've signed up to a lot of online courses since I recorded my own. I should have looked at other courses before I recorded my own, but I was surprised at how many online courses out there are very simple, are very straightforward, and you don't have to be, really fancy video, really fancy editing or anything like that. Because remember, the bottom line is people are looking for the content. That's what they're looking for. Content, content, content. And if your content is good, they will forgive your video editing maybe not being 100%, especially on the first course. Get advice and constructive criticism from as many people as possible. Now, this can hurt. This can sting when you've spent hours recording maybe a chapter of your course and you've put blood, sweat and tears into this, and you show it to somebody who knows what they're talking about and they say, no, Sean, no, that go back, you're going to have to re-record that. You left out this, or you shouldn't have put that in, or you didn't explain X, Y, or Z properly. But even though it stings and it hurts, it's a vital part of your course. You must show it to other people. You cannot depend on yourself, because you are going to have rose-tinted glasses, as they would say. So very important, get as much advice as you possibly can. Show this course as you build it to as many people as you can. From there, once you have everything recorded, you've got it vetted by people, you're happy with the end result, it is only then you need to start thinking about a course platform that you are going to use to send your course out to the rest of the world. And I did look at all of the other platforms, and I looked at them very carefully, because it was like a hobby by me for a couple of years. I would look at email autoresponders, I would look at course platforms, I would look at building it on WordPress by myself and piecing it all together. And Zenler came along out of the blue and for me anyway, it blew everything else out of the water. Zenler has been around for many, many years, but what they did a couple of years back is they started to revamp it and to relaunch it. That's how it is in beta at the moment. Now, it's been in beta and I've been using it for over a year at this stage, and I've never had a difficulty. A lot of software that's in beta can be buggy, doesn't work properly, and really isn't ready for public consumption. With Zenler, I think they're being a bit overcautious, because it does seem to work really, really well. I've had personally no difficulties whatsoever. And the beauty of it, even though I agonized over Zenler, the beauty of it was everything is in the one place. Your course platform, hosting your videos, your sales pages, your email autoresponder, your funnels, everything is in the one spot. And if some of those words or phrases seem a bit alien to you at the moment, don't worry. Once you start investigating this, they'll all become very clear. And to be honest, they're all actually very simple, especially the way Zenler produced them. It is just literally A, B, C, D. Follow the steps and you can't go too wrong. And as I've said before, the training, the tutorial training that Zenler give you is second to none. That is why you really shouldn't buy a course on Zenler or anything like that. There's no need. They do all their own training, and all you have to do is follow it step by step. And if you don't want to do that now, Zenler, the community on Facebook, they have a fantastic community on Facebook, and some of the Zenler experts are now starting to offer their services to people who are new to Zenler to help them out. You pay, of course, naturally, to help you out, to build your pages, to build your course. And if you have any problems, they will fix it for you, which is fantastic. It is unbelievably great. So there's a great community of support as well behind Zenler. So moving on, because I've said enough about how great Zenler was. Moving on, we look at your URL. That is your www. Like mine is www.passfirsttime.ie or www.ibizdad.com. It's something I struggled with from the start as well, because you can have your own WordPress site, okay? And that would be the www.ibizdad.com. But your Zenler course site then would be just a link. So you'd have a link to your course, and your course then would include Zenler in the link. Now, I didn't want that. I wanted it to be clean. I wanted it to be just my URL. In hindsight, was that the right decision? I'm not 100% sure, but I've changed everything now and I can't change it back. So I'm happy. The only reason that it would be of a concern to people is, again, you are putting absolutely everything in the one barrel, in the one bucket, and by putting the URL in the same bucket, it's just an extra thing you're putting into that bucket. But am I concerned about it? No is the answer. Absolutely not. The main concern I had initially was the SEO. Would people find my site on Google? And I'd have to say they are finding it quite well. So that has been alleviated. And I notice now a lot of people are moving everything to Zenler, the complete URLs, because the beneficial side to that is that there is no difficulty. You are not responsible for keeping a WordPress site updated as well as your Zenler site. You just have everything in the one place, and Zenler support is brilliant. There are rarely to ever any difficulties, and if there are any difficulties, they are easily fixed. Study the Zenler tutorials for a few days before you decide to start uploading and to start working on your course. The uploading of the videos, by the way, is just so simple. It is very, very simple and an easy process. A tip I will give you there is to make sure you have your videos labeled in an order that you will remember and in an order that makes sense for you. So just label the videos correctly when uploading them. And of course, they are stored by Zenler as part of your package for free. So if you wanted, you could actually delete them off of your hard drive or off of your computer. Wouldn't probably recommend that. I have a master copy of my course on an external hard drive, a Samsung external hard drive. So that's probably the way I would go. But your videos are stored in the cloud by Zenler for free. Next step, decide if you want to sign up or go with the free plan. This is, well, it's not tough really, because I looked at the free plan. It didn't have what I wanted. So for me, it was a very easy decision. I looked at the price of all of the other online course platforms, and Zenler was just streams ahead in value. So I was one of the original beta subscribers, and my plan, I know it's gone up now, it's nearly doubled since I joined. I am back in the 337 per year brigade, and that stays for life. Whatever price you sign up at, you have that price for life. So I have that price for life now, but that was because I signed up very, very early. Today's price is still fantastic value. It is still cheaper than everything else out there. But beware, if you're thinking about it and you think it is for you, do it early, because the price goes up about roughly once every 12 months. And it will eventually be on a par to everything else that's out there, because even when Zenler, the pricing is on a par, it is still going to offer you more features than anything else out there. Right, so you decide on free or a paid plan. If you decide on free, by the way, again, if it suits you, brilliant, absolutely fantastic. And that way you can just see how the courses sell. And if you want to upgrade at a later stage, you can. So really, it's whatever suits you personally. Finally, you upload all of the content to your site and start getting it set up. You check and recheck your content outlay. This is very important. You have it in the right order, and that it makes sense, and that students are not going to be emailing you saying, oh, the videos are out of sync or out of order, and that everything is where it should be. Keep the layout of your website simple and easy to follow as well. Again, I made the mistake of trying to make it the best site possible from day one with graphics and everything else. Keep it very simple at the start. Zenler will actually give you a layout at the start that you can use and it looks quite well. So don't feel you have to do everything design-wise at the start. And remember, in the Zenler community, there are professionals who, if you do it in a basic way at the start, they can come along after, and okay, you have to pay them, but they can make your site then look absolutely brilliant. And it might be no harm to have a basic looking site initially, so you have time to figure out what works and what doesn't. You allow test students to access your course. This is the testing process again. So you tested the course content initially. Now you're going to test the course layout and how it flows, and how these test students feel that, you know, the course went for them. Did they benefit from it? Was it what it was supposed to be? Is the content suitable? And again, as many of these test students as you can. For my Pass First Time course, I allowed my own driving students that I was putting through the driving test, giving lessons to use the course for free. I tested over 50 of them initially, just to make sure everything was good. Finally, you make any changes that are necessary after all of the testing, and make sure your website is operating as it should be and you're happy with it. You're now ready to launch to the world, to scream from the rooftops. And this is, I thought I was finished, you see, at this stage. But this is where the real work begins. Now, really hard work. You have to sell it. I forgot about that. And for the first few weeks, my course was up. I was delighted. You get an email every time you make a sale. So I did make a few initial sales from new students coming into my own school. And that was brilliant. But then there was this stop with nothing happening. No course sales, no emails saying there is nothing better, by the way. And even though it's small money, there's nothing better than that email that says you have sold the course. But you have to promote it, and that's a whole different ball game. You're talking about social media, Google ads, YouTube ads. I'm going to go through all of that, and as you follow my journey, you will follow how I get on with that as well. You must sell, sell, sell. It pretty much is an all day, every day. You must be thinking about how you're going to sell. You must know how you're going to sell, and you have to be promoting it pretty much non-stop. I'm guilty of not doing that, but I'm hoping that I will improve as we go along. Zenler has lots of inbuilt sales tools, the funnels, the email autoresponder. You can have a lead magnet. There are loads. So you can just explore all of those as you go. So, and the best of luck. The best of luck. I wish anyone who is starting an online course, especially, like I say, this is for the over 50s and beyond, really, just to see, can we do it? And I think we can. So, ladies and gentlemen, the gauntlet has been thrown. I want you to have a go, especially if you've been thinking about it. There's no point in looking back and thinking, I should have done that. I should have. Or what if I'd done that? How would things be different now? So if you're thinking about it, do it. It's not going to cost a huge amount of money. If you have this money and you've always wanted to have a go, I think the time was never better, especially with the times we're living in now. Online is going to be the way to go for many, many years to come, and it's going to change dramatically, I think, even in the next couple of years. So there was never a better time to get the information that's inside of your head and put it into an online course. So there are the steps, to the best of my knowledge, that I followed. What have I left out? I must have left out something. Leave your tips and comments below, please. And if you have started an online course, we'd love to hear about that as well. So that's the end of the video for now. But what I will be doing is the TubeBuddy experience is what I'm looking at in this video as well. So I will be adding the TubeBuddy tips for SEO and keyword. Well, we got the name for this video out of keyword research on TubeBuddy. So I will be adding all of the other items that TubeBuddy will tell me to add, and I'll make a separate video about adding those. But for now, it's all about creating your online course with Zenler, and I wish you the very best of luck with it. I'll see you in the next video from Sean here, the iBiz Dad in Ireland. Oh, like and subscribe. I'm always forgetting to say that. Please like and subscribe. Slán for now. Bye-bye.